And this cannon is a field artillery piece, which means it's set up with big wheels, so it's a lot easier to move over rougher terrain like grass. So you see this on a battlefield. Particularly, you wouldn't be seeing it used for defense, but for attacking on the offensive. Now, once our artillery crew has all their hearing protection in, they're going to start loading the cannon. So our ventsmith is the first position. Their role is to use a metal object to make sure that the vent is clear, make sure that there's nothing in the way. Now we search the piece using a tool called the worm. It has almost like a corkscrew at the end, almost like a wine bottle opener. This is so that when we twist it in the barrel, we can remove any kind of debris that could be down the barrel. The next position is the sponge. What they do with the sponge is dip it in some water, and the ventsmith plugging the vent hole with their thumb to make sure that they can create a vacuum seal when the sponge goes down the barrel. The reason we want a vacuum seal and a damp sponge is to deaden any sparks, minimize the amount of airflow down the barrel, creating a seal, and using a damp sponge to help put out any potential sparks that could be down the barrel. Once our sponger is finished sponging the barrel, then they put the ramming end of the sponge underneath the gun. This signifies we are ready to add the cartridge. So that's when our fifth position over here to your left here, the powder monkey, will bring the cartridge to the person who is worming the barrel. They'll pass it off, and that's when, before putting the cartridge in the barrel, you'll see the wormer put their hand on top of the gun. This is to ground themselves. So if there's any static electricity running through your body, well, now it can go right through you into the ground. Putting the cartridge into the muzzle of the gun. So there you go, putting the hand on top, putting the cartridge in, and you will hear the command, load. So this is where the rammer will ram the cartridge right down to the bottom of the barrel, making sure it's well seated right at the bottom, giving it a good smack just to make sure it's very well seated. This is when the ventsmith can prime the cannon. So using a long pointed object to prick a hole through the vent into the cartridge, and this is when they can insert a goose quill. Once the goose quill is ready to go, we can advance the linstock and fire the cannon. Now, I highly recommend that you cover your ears so you can protect your hearing. This cannon is very loud. The way I recommend you do this is not putting your fingers in your ears like this. This is not helpful because your bones in your fingers conduct sound. Cup your hands and bring them around your ears like this, just like so. So I recommend you cover your ears, and we're ready to fire.
Prepare to fire! Fire!
So we did pretty okay today. We were a little bit delayed here. We were pretty much almost right on the minute. So the